We're so glad that you've decided to do a Real Story of Christmas outreach event. This script for this outreach was put together over many years. As you've seen in the video by Jerry Dirmann, the approach to bringing the entire Bible together, really from Genesis through the New Testament, to understand not only Jesus' nativity, his birth story, but from creation all the way through to his impact on society today, all brought together with Christmas carols and candlelight. This has been an effective and powerful tool, as well as a precious moment for so many people to share with family, friends, neighbors, etc. It's a really great opportunity, and I'm glad that you're with us. We're going to go through a very simple training, and really what I'm going to do is show you the website and how you can use it to effectively host your own outreach. Now, as I begin this sharing of the screen, so you can see the videos and you can see the script, I want you to just know there is a planning guide that outlines everything. We're going to go through it, but I want to show you a few things first. So I'm going to go through things relatively quickly because you can go back, you can pause, you can play, and you can go back and look things up for yourself. But I want to make sure everyone sees what's available to them. So I want to start by going to our script, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that tab. And on the script, what you'll see is a few things. This is where that whole script is actually laid out right here on the website. So it's black with white text so that you could read it in a dark room and it won't highlight too much light, but it's still legible. So that whole script is right here. And as you go through it, right embedded into the script is a few things I want to point out. One, all the scriptures that are referenced are right inside of the script. No, that's not for you to read. They're in gray, so you can skip them. But that allows you and any attendees who read the script to know exactly where to go in scripture if they're wondering, where does it say that? It's all right there. Next thing I want to point out is that we've also on the web page embedded the Christmas carols along with the verses that we're singing. So if you want to right there as you're going through, click on the Christmas carols, you can do that right there and sing along with the music, or you could have live music, or you can do it a cappella. You can just belt it out, however it works for you. Along with the website script, you'll see at the top, we have a few sample scripts that you can use. One is the host script as just a PDF that you can download. This allows you to take a nice printout, kind of in a half sheet fold style, and you can have the scripts all printed out, no digital needed, just print them right there to have them in your home. You also have a doc file, that .doc. That is an option so that some of you might have things you want to add into the script, not to the Bible portion, I hope, but actually for how you want to introduce something, what you want to remember to say at the end. And instead of having to scribble on top of something that is uneditable, you can do that right there. Or you might want to color code sections. Maybe you're going to have somebody read some parts and you're going to read some parts. You've got an editable file to do that. So that's why we did that. In fact, one of our leaders last year did a customized host script, and you can even download that document if you're interested so that you can see how somebody might customize it. And then lastly, we have the attendee script. The attendee script doesn't have any of the instructions, doesn't have any of the introduction. It's just the Bible story portion. So, and the Christmas carols. So that's something that's a PDF. You can just download it and print it for people, but there is a second option and it's listed inside of the host script. And what that is to send them to a website, just like this one, but it's its own website so that there's not all of the stuff up here, right? The music and videos and other things. We want to be able to send them directly to a website that they can get just the script, nothing else. And I'm going to give you that URL right now. It's also going to be in the script when you download it, but just want you to know, if you just want to send attendees to be able to digitally read a script, okay, then you're going to send them to therealstoryofchristmas.com. Really easy. It's exactly the title that'll be on the outside of the scripts, therealstoryofchristmas.com. That is just the attendee script right there. In fact, I have that website pulled up right here. I can click on it. Real Story of Christmas. It looks like everything else that we have, but just no menu. And there's no embedded music so that nobody accidentally starts playing music while you're trying to lead an event. So that's what that is, therealstoryofchristmas.com. if you want to send attendees there. Again, it's listed in your script that you'll be able to read and direct them to. All right, well, what I want to do is just show you quickly the video options that you have, as well as the other music pieces. You saw that just the audio was embedded into the script for the Christmas carols, but there are a few other options. We have videos, which are a couple of different ways that you could host this event. You can actually watch the full production. Includes the introduction by Jerry and Kimberly. It includes Christmas carols produced with a great team of people. It has different readers reading the story. And then we have some beautiful, precious moments with our little ones that kind of depict a little bit of the Nazareth and Bethlehem nativity scene. So that portion, and I will say this, it's not funny, it's not meant to be distracting, it's really meant to support the story. So it's kind of a precious little view of those moments, but not some of these YouTube things you forward around to make people laugh. It really is all kind of this gentle tone all the way through as we recognize who Jesus is and who Jesus was. And people really have enjoyed that. You can just play the whole video and follow along that way, along with the script, and just sing along. That's one way that people have done it. However, some people want to do the live script. That's how we've done it at church for years. I think it's a beautiful way to do it. It engages more people. So to do that is great. You can download that script. But if you want to just have the Christmas carols more as a video, so you're just going to watch the carols and have them sing for the musical support and the visual support, then you can do that. This playlist right here is just the Christmas carols, one to the next to the next. You can pause in between, do some more reading, and then come back and press play. So all of the Christmas carols all together, all songs together. Then we have each of the individual Christmas carols listed here so that you can, maybe you want to do some of them, but not others. You want to do some of them live. You might have a musician in your midst. Great. Again, our goal is just to resource you so that you can choose how it would work best for your scenario. If you go on down below the videos, we also have the sheet music here, chords and lyrics for all your musicians. And then we have the audio one more time, just listed out all separately here. So anything you want to use here, we want you to be able to use it. Hopefully that resources you to the right approach you want to take for your event. Now, if you go to the planning guide tab, and I'll just skip over to it, it's just simply this. The planning guide information is all listed on the website if you want to go through it that way. But if you click this PDF guide, and I'm going to open that up right now, you're going to get this vision right here explaining how this works. And I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to just kind of go through the planning guide. But I want to remind you again, you can pause as I go through this. You can scroll back later on. I'm not going to walk through every word of the planning guide because it's really for you to sit down and work through, but I want to go through it in general, and I'll get specific in sections that I think are helpful, just to start to think through what you'll need as you host your Christmas Story Outreach. So here's the vision. The vision of the Christmas Story Outreach is that many believers and house churches will utilize this vision, the training, and the planning resources to conduct a small or large community outreach event before Christmas, where the Christmas story is read straight from the Bible, with Christmas carols interlaced throughout, and culminating with a candlelight portion where the gospel is shared, all in about an hour. At the conclusion of the event, a weekly Bible study could be offered, probably starting in the new year. This Bible study could become a new house church. This event could happen in a home, back or front yard, driveway, certain streets, etc. This can happen where it works for you to invite people that will come. So below is the planning guide to help you make this event a success. And there's just 3 parts. Step 1 is the planning. Really obvious questions like when and where. But I want to point out a few things. Who could help? Who could help? This is so important because so often some of us catch a vision of something and we just start trying to make it all happen. God brings teams together for a purpose. One is so that we're not, all the pressure isn't on one person, but it's not just a selfish motivation. There's also others that should be a part, that need to be trained, that would care to be able to be a part of something like this, to see people saved. So I want to encourage you to ask the Lord, who might be the team that would partner with you and your spouse to really bring a Christmas Story Outreach to life. When will you rehearse? This is important for a live event. Sometimes people don't do this because, well, we're just going to watch the video. Even that, rehearsing, walking through what does the transition look like when we hit play? How does that feel? How should I lead into that? At the end, when it ends, what is the end spot? And when I press stop, how do I take over from there? But also just watching it all the way through, knowing where the parts are that you might want to step in and help lead the carols. So whether you're doing it all live or with a video, you want to rehearse. The more components you use, the more time you'll probably need to rehearse so you can work through those little glitches. You don't want to leave big gaps. You end one section, now we have to press start or play, and we're not sure, oh wait, it was over here. Walk it through a few times to feel really good about it. So deciding when you're going to rehearse as well as when you're going to pray. I want to always encourage everyone with outreach. This is spiritual. You don't get to argue someone into heaven or convince them out of hell. You can do a good job of your part, but this is something that the Holy Spirit does, and the enemy doesn't want us to be successful in. So I encourage you with your team, not just prep in the physical things, but prepare in the spirit, that the Holy Spirit will just have his way in that place. Even taking authority over the plans of the wicked one, maybe even that day as you pray over that space, and see that we're giving room for the Holy Spirit to flow. So that's important. How many people you're going to plan for. This is important because some people might be thinking, yeah, maybe like 3 or 4 people are going to come, and someone else on the team is thinking like 30 or 40 people, and one of them does a good job of getting the snacks for 40 people, and another one does a good job of getting chairs for 3 or 4 people. Might cause a problem. So just getting it clear. I would even recommend pray, ask the Lord, and set your faith on something and say, no, I think we're going to have about this, and go after it in the spirit. Where will it happen? How will people be seated? If it's going to be something where you're going to invite people to like bring a camping chair, limited seating available, bring a camping chair because we're going to do it outside, right? Knowing your desired outcomes. Is this just so that our neighbors get to know us? Do we want to have a salvation opportunity at the end? And remember, it's not just about salvations. We really value this as an organization, as a group, as a ministry, that we make disciples, not just converts, because converts can get wiped out pretty fast. But when you are a disciple of Jesus, that's what changes your life. So I really encourage you, is it that we're going to do a Bible study in the new year? What do we want to see happen from this? Praying together and deciding, why are we going after this? Maybe it's just we're going to do a couple more events together and then we're going to offer a Bible study, but just get that settled in your own heart. What are we going after? You do want to collect people's information to be able to follow up with them, but I'm going to ask everybody to do 2 things. One, have a really clear way that people will share their information. It can be a notepad that you pass around that says name and cell number. It could with your information at the top always, so that you have your name and your cell phone number so they can have that. But 2, when you do that, please specify that you will not use it for anything else. This is pretty common sense, but some people, you have a side hustle, you have business that you're doing, and you might sell something and it's something you believe in and you want to share it with people. That's a beautiful thing, but you don't want to mix that with the gospel. It can seem very self-serving, and that's not what the gospel is. So if relationships build down the way and there's an opportunity for something like that one day after people have received Jesus, etc., great. But in this moment, as you're receiving their information, just let them know this is going to be about this. I just want to be able to follow up and let you know, remind you when our Bible study is starting. And don't worry, I'm not going to sell your information or use it for any marketing purposes. We just want to let you know what's coming your way. So please be intentional about that. And that's why we also want you to think about how are you going to receive that information. What format, if live and or watched, or how you're going to do that, what kind of equipment we need, how will people engage with it, how will the event feel, right? Sight, sound, touch, something so simple, but smell. There's that term people have used in recent years called going nose blind. There's smells in our own houses we don't realize. I have a dog. I don't think it smells bad in my house, but someone brand new might think it does. So I might want to clean a little extra. I might want to ask a friend to be real brutally honest with me. Can you smell the cat litter box? Like, it might not be nasty, but can you smell it? I might want some candles. I might want some, right? I'm just going to think, why? Listen, this is not to impress people. Please hear that. This is not to impress people. It's just that we want to serve people well, and the enemy uses anything he can to distract people. So I would just encourage you to think through the ways people will engage and do your best to serve them well and invite them into an atmosphere that's going to be free of distraction as much as possible. And then the last thing here for planning is list potential problems. This is one of those things that you don't want to think about, but what happens if, I don't know, a crying baby starts freaking out? Is there something we can do? Does the team know what to do if someone needs to be, let them know there's a space over here for them or whatever that might be? Can we help in some way? Maybe there's nothing you can do, but we're aware of it and we're thinking about it. We're going to pray over that there would be no distractions that would cause any problems during our event. All right, step 2 is promotion, which you want to get on as quickly as possible, thinking through who you're inviting, how you're inviting, what information you're going to be putting on the promotions. I want to show you as well something that we have available for you, which is on the promotion tab of the Christmas Story Outreach website. Right here at the top, you've got the word promotion. When you click on that, you're going to see these print-ready invitations, both in the PDF and PNG format. So it's 2 different formats of the same flyers. There's the half page, and then there's the quarter page sort of flyers. We have a whole section at the bottom where you can add your own information if you have that in a graphics program. If you don't, just print them out and handwrite on them, and that's fine. I do encourage you, however, not to just hand out flyers. And just what we've seen is more effective is when you can personally invite somebody to this event. So you may have a flyer with all the information and all the follow-up and maybe your phone number or email address to reach out to you, but that you knock on the door and talk to people about it, not just leave a flyer stuck in the door. And in fact, I would even encourage you to consider going back through the neighborhood the day before or the day of to remind people it's tonight at 7. I hope you're going to be able to be there. We have hot chocolate, whatever it is, that you do that in a personal way. It's just so much more effective when people are personally invited. And then as well on social media, we have some graphics that you can use for your Facebook or Instagram, or however you want to do that, to be able to remind people, let them know who might be connected to you there. So going back to the planning guide, promotion, and then lastly, preparation. Again, you're going to want to read through all of this, but let me just hit a few highlights here. The next steps are critical. We're not creating an outreach just to have an outreach. The point is what comes next. So thinking through, it might not be you, but is there someone on the team who could host that Bible study? It doesn't have to be in your house. You could say it's going to be, around the corner or over a few miles the next direction. But maybe it is in your house, but it's hosted by someone else or led by someone else. That's great. But knowing that and being able to communicate it clearly on the day of the outreach is really important. So making sure you're settled on that before the day of the outreach, when it's going to start, where it's going to be, so that you can give that information to everybody. That's going to be really helpful. Next, ensuring you have all the right equipment that you need. If you got to rent, borrow, buy, don't steal. Thanks. That's one of those things we just definitely disagree with. But here's something I just want to tune in on that you might not think about early enough. You want to get the candles. The candlelight portion of this is the culmination. You need to have candles. This is not something you as an option. So however you want to get them, you need candles. So they are referred to as vigil candles. With drip protectors. That's what you're looking for online. We have a few links on the website and on this planner for you. However, I'll just tell you right now, they often go out of stock. They change the product a little bit. The prices might not be the same when you click on them. That is normal. But that's why we put the specific words there, vigil candles with drip protectors. You want to purchase those right away. You can get like the ones that we found that were the best deals. You can get 50 for 20, or you could get 200 for $21.99. And so clearly most people won't need 200, but you will now have them for the next number of years. Or, if there's a power outage, you've got plenty of candles for your house. So, whatever works for you, sharing with somebody, having them in storage for next time, whatever it is, but you want to look for vigil candles with drip protectors. They don't typically come in really small quantities. Sometimes you can find a pack of 20. It's just not all that common. So, and you can find them at other places and make your own drip protectors if you want. So that's just up to you. We just wanted to give you the resource. Here we go. Practice, practice, practice. Please, especially if you have different readers or different musicians, really go through it all. This is just makes the biggest difference to the flow and feel. And for people who are engaging brand new, again, the enemy just wants to use anything to distract them. So just being intentional that we're serving the Lord really with all of our hearts to do this well and represent him well. Then the day before, pray, check the weather, take inventory that you have all the supplies, double check, and send reminders. Like I said, you might go around the neighborhood again. You might send them via text or email or social media. Great. However it works, get those reminders out. Day of checklist, pray, set up early, pray, 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 be praying. We really want to see the Lord move in these situations, and we don't expect that to happen just because we did a good job, but because we put him first and we made it a priority in our hearts that he's first and he's preeminent in all that we do. And then how are we going to get the contact information from our guests? That's so important. And how do we offer that next step? What can they do to stick in and join and be a part and engage with the Lord? And then just a couple of tips: smile, make eye contact, don't let the things distract you from the people. This is so critical. I've been guilty of this so many times. And hi, how are you doing? So good to see you. Oh my goodness, I've got this technical thing I've got to figure out. This is where, as a team, even saying, the leader or whoever it is, maybe there's a couple people they've been assigned, you don't do any of the technical details. Once we hit, 20 minutes till, you don't help with any of the doings. You're just there to talk to people and love on people. It's so important. And all this stuff can be a distraction. I mentioned the enemy wants to distract the people, but he also wants us to not be able to serve people with joy and gladness and be distracted. So just encourage you to make sure that is set as a priority. Again, a couple things: don't panic. I don't expect any problems, but just if something does go wrong, okay, Lord, what now? Right? I mean, that's probably the way we should be living our lives. Okay, Lord, didn't see that coming, but you did. What now? And trusting that he's going to lead you through it, and just enjoy yourself as you love on people and show them who Jesus really is. Because he's not the big mean God that some people think, or the big religious legalist thing that some people think. This is a beautiful relationship we have with our Lord, and so many others so desperately need it, so desperately need that peace and that joy. And so it's a beautiful thing that we get to share it. And lastly, we would love for you to share pictures and stories and videos and testimonies with us. Please let us know. Anything that the Lord does through this would be wonderful, so that we can celebrate as we promote for next year, to remind people the value of reaching out to their neighbors. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. We've got a few more things we'll be adding to our website, christmasstoryoutreach.com, especially some Bible study options for next steps. So you can be looking on the website, should hopefully already, as you're watching this video, have a next steps tab at the top. And that will give you a few options for Bible studies that you could launch with people, whether they have committed their lives to Jesus and they're just beginning their journey, or maybe they're in what I like to call the pre-believer stage. They're open, but there's some things that we want to help them see and learn as they are on their journey to becoming a disciple and becoming a disciple maker, right? That's who we all are. We are disciple makers who make disciple makers. Well, I hope you were able to get a good overview of what we've got available on the website. Again, I went through this relatively quickly so that you can go back and get the parts that you need. If you have any questions at all, anything comes up that you'd like some support or ask a question about, you can email us at info at solidlives.com. That's info at solidlives, all one word, .com. And we'll be happy to get back to you as soon as we're able. God bless you, and may your Christmas story outreach be the best ever. Bless you.